This news update is brought to you by
Grab somebody and tell them hello. Your happiness will be connect to flow. Smile and cheer because that is we flow. Grab somebody and tell them hello. With your hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air. This is how we flow, yeah. Grab somebody and tell them this is how we flow.
It's Tuesday, August 11th, and time for the Barbados Today Afternoon Update. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. A cause of great concern. That's how Attorney General Adriel Brathwaite is describing the level of gun violence across the country. In recent days, several persons had to be treated for gunshot wounds, the latest on Barbados Beach on Sunday, where a man was injured in the foot and a house in Orange Hill was riddled with bullets in the wee hours of the morning.
It is cause for great concern to us. And if there is one message that I would like, and I hope that all of us will send today, is that we are very concerned about the state of gun-related crime in this country, and we have to put our heads together to see how we can arrest this situation. Now, the Royal Barbados Police Force obviously is in the process of certain initiatives to address this problem, and they're not new initiatives. They're continuing. It's a continuous process, but they cannot do it alone.
The AG also revealed that the current violence across the island was being driven by a gang culture, as he gave a preview into a report now being conducted on the worrying situation in the country. He says that report should be available within the next 2 months.
What I'm being told by the persons conducting that study is that there is little doubt, based on the information that they have at present, that we do have what seems to be an increased number of gangs. They may not be as organized as the ones that we read about from the international community, but they are there. And we all accept that, in fact, that with drugs have always come guns, that individuals are not necessarily paying for drugs with money. They sometimes have firearms as part of the shipment. So we need to work harder in terms of intercepting more drug shipments into Barbados. We need to utilize the best technology possible at the ports of entry.
However, the minister maintains that despite what is being seen as an increase of crime in the country this year, Barbados is still considered a safe place.
I am satisfied that generally Barbados remains a safe place for people to go about their business, for people to go at work and at play. I think that was seen over the last couple of months in terms of our crossover activities. That is seen when one goes to Oystins on Friday nights and Saturday nights. That is seen when one goes around to shop lines, etc., across St. Philip and other parts of Barbados. That generally people believe that they can go about their business and stuff. That has not changed.
He made the comments in Parliament this morning as he tabled a resolution to borrow the sum of $76 million to improve accommodations for the Royal Barbados Police Force in the coming months. He revealed plans for the refurbishment and, in some cases, to build new structures to house police stations across the island, chief among them police headquarters. Meantime, the Barbados Union of Teachers raises concern about the level of gun violence in the country as it mourns the loss of one of the island's educators. Last Thursday, primary school teacher Dwight Holder lost his life while he was enjoying a game of dominoes at Bedford Land, Savannah Road, Bush Hall, St. Michael. BUT President Pedro Shepherd tells Barbados Today the situation in the country seeks to bring across the fact that people cannot socialize at any time of day, as he complained about the brazenness of criminals.
We have to be really concerned in Barbados at this time with the level of violence we're seeing, particularly gun violence. which in some cases seem to be related to drugs and to gang violence and so on. And I think that we have to, as a group, the beauty of itself has to lend its voice to all other persons and groups in Barbados who, would wish to express concern at the level of crime and so on in this country. Too many of our young people are being involved, being targets of this culture, and I think that something needs to be done. Whatever legislation we need to put in place to curb it, I believe that we need to. I don't think a gun amnesty is going to help the situation, but we have to, find ways and means.
Health Minister John Boyce believes it is important for Barbados to have a cadre of persons who are trained in risk communication and who can perform the critical role of communicating with the population in a time of public health emergencies. He made the comments while speaking at an emergency risk communication training workshop this morning at the Accra Hotel. He said that emergency risk communication was a field which had become an important aspect of preparedness planning and over time had shown its value to public health. Officials in the renewable energy sector are gathered to discuss a number of climate change and sustainable energy issues affecting the Caribbean and Latin America and to come up with solutions. Addressing the opening session this morning, President of the Barbados Renewable Energy Association, Aidan Rogers, said it was critical for all stakeholders to come together and devise a comprehensive plan of action to tackle the energy and waste issues facing the region.
We would have seen the data, and some of it is really captured in the opening outline for this actual workshop that shows that we're faced with rapid urbanization. And the key challenge that we must have from a planning and a development and policy perspective is how best we can implement strategies, new technologies with respect to housing, with respect to waste management, with respect to energy use and energy conservation to meet and adapt to these challenges as we tend to adjust to the changes brought on by this increased urbanization.
The 4-day workshop, which will focus on promoting sustainable cities in the region and Latin America, is being held at the Accra Beach Hotel and is organized by the Barbados Renewable Energy Association and the OAS Department of Sustainable Development.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. Humble beginnings to smart loans, smart savings. Save smart and borrow smarter. That's the move for me. Stability, prosperity. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union.
Got it in my hand, got it in my hand, yeah. My Barbados, my bank. Got to understand, yeah. My Barbados, my bank. Ain't nothing like a core bank spare. None of them others just can't compare. You just got to love that taste. It's the world-class thing this land makes. Whether I'm cruising or at a bar, whether I'm at home, my bank spare is never far. For this blessing, got to give God thanks. My Barbados, my bank.
We pick up with news on the regional front. The David Granger government announces salary increases for public servants, old age pensioners in the first budget since coming into office in May. We get more in this Capital News report about the 221 billion Guyana dollar financial package.
I wish to announce an increase in the minimum basic salary of each public servant to $50,000 effective July 1st, 2015. This translates to a 26.4% increase for those still earning the old minimum wage of $39,540 and a 17.1% increase for those earning $42,703. That is significant, right? Very, very significant. Mr. Speaker, effective July the 1st, 2015, all other public servants will receive a 5% salary increase plus an additional $5,000 monthly. This, Mr. Speaker, will allow for a greater increase in the lower income brackets.
And on the international scene, tensions continue in Ferguson, Missouri, as police arrest more than 20 people amid protests marking the anniversary of the death of Michael Brown yesterday.
A community once again on edge.
Time for talking is done. Now is the time for action.
Protesters in Ferguson regrouped a day after the one-year anniversary of the death of Michael Brown, which gave rise to the Black Lives Matter movement. Dozens of protesters were arrested after blocking the entrance to the federal courthouse and for blocking traffic on a major highway just outside town. Peaceful demonstrations on Sunday gave way to gunfire.
He's breathing, man. Please get him some help.
Tyrone Harris was shot and critically wounded by plainclothes detectives after Harris allegedly shot at them. He was later charged with assault and armed criminal action.
That's the afternoon update. For more news, log on to www.barbadostoday.bb. Subscribe to our e-paper, our email updates, and like us on Facebook. You can also catch us on iZoomi Media in bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. We're also on Channel 101 on 9 TV and Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Frenella Wedderburn. To have a good afternoon.